Hello to all my Tingle fans, and welcome back to Only Tingles ASMR. Today is a pretty exciting video for a couple reasons. Number one, it's the first video where I am putting my face on the channel, so you all can now put a face to the voice. Number two, this is the first video that I'm going to be filming since coming back from the honeymoon. So I appreciate you all hanging in there while I was gone. I pre-recorded, I think like 10, 12 videos or something like that to upload while we were while my wife and I were gone. They were definitely shorter videos, excuse me, and I wasn't uploading as frequently. I like to do every other day. I think these were going up like every 2 days, maybe some were every 3 days. So sorry I wasn't able to give you as much content as I would have liked. But yeah, today's video is just going to be like a first video back, soft-spoken. It seems a lot of you like the soft-spoken. I'm going to probably keep doing soft-spoken and whispering, but today's the soft-spoken ramble. I'm basically just going to ramble about the honeymoon, and then if I remember, we'll talk about some ideas that I have for some upcoming videos. But as always, I'm going to have some hard candy as well, so I'm going to get these Weatherspoon. They're actually honey drops. I feel like they're still considered candy, but you know. I really like these because they're a little bit bigger than some of the other hard candies, and I feel like they make some better sounds. So. Of course, I'm not gonna always probably shoot videos from this angle when I do the, you know, puzzle books, or if I'm doing a board game, I'm gonna do the overhead camera. But I think it was about time to get my face on the channel, so let me open this bad boy. I'm trying to do it away from the camera so it's not super loud. The one thing about these honey drops is they're always very sticky, like they stick to the plastic, so they're kind of hard to get out. There we go. Okay, so the honeymoon was great. So my wife and I, we got married like a little over about 2 months ago, and we knew we were going to be traveling to Europe for our friend's wedding in July. So instead of taking the honeymoon right after the wedding, we scheduled it for a couple months later, so we can kind of do two birds with one stone. So their wedding was in Sorrento in Italy. We made that the second part of our trip. So we went to Mykonos in Greece first, which was stunning. It was so much fun. We were debating, do we go to Santorini or do we go to Mykonos? So they say Santorini is the more relaxed, like, you know, chill vibe. Mykonos is very much well known for like the partying and the nightlife. My wife and I, we aren't really big into partying. It's not really like what we're about, but a lot of people also told us that it can be relaxing. You know, it doesn't have to be just going out every night. There's still good food. There's fun things to do. So we did Mykonos. The sunsets. So Mykonos is very well known for these sunsets. They're incredible. Now, the first night, well, we got in. It's a long travel, right? We're on the West Coast, so coming from the West Coast, you have to, it's like a 24 hours of like traveling when you talk about layovers and connecting flights and all that. So the first night we just got in, had dinner at our hotel, went to sleep. But the next day, the first day, we were like, okay, let's just do like, explore the town, kind of get lost, go grab coffee, sightsee, walk through the streets. But I met a reservation at this bar called Negrita Bar, which if you guys want to look it up, it's Negrita, Negrita. It's this really cool bar. It's small, but the patio area I reserved a table, luckily for us, on the patio. The patio is quite literally like on the water. So there's a section, there's like an upper like section, pretty small. You walk down like 6 steps and there's like another lower section. The water can like splash up, and like if you're sitting in the front row on that lower section, like your feet are getting wet. We were in like the back table on that bottom section. You're like just right in the waves. It's incredible. So we got there at 5:30. They let us stay. So your table only lasts for 2 hours reservation, but they let us stay through 8:30 when the sunset was. But it becomes this like fun, like party vibe. Yeah, it was just incredible. So watching the sunset on the horizon, you're like level with the horizon. It looks incredible. So that was really nice. And then the next day, we booked a boat tour. There are some local islands there that are like basically uninhabited. One of them, well, the one island we didn't really stop at. The other island, I think it's called Renia Island, I believe. So it's a, or no, that's not Renia. There's Renia, and Renia's the one that like there's nobody on. What is the other island name? I can't remember the other island name, but it's the one where in Greek mythology, Apollo and I believe his sister, Artemis, they say this is where they were like born. Like I guess they went down into the water and like pulled this island up for them to live or something. And I didn't get the whole mythology. And Greek mythology is pretty cool and fascinating. I didn't get the whole backstory, but it was basically where they were like said to have been born. And it's like a protected archaeological site in Greece. And they drop you off on the island. You can explore for a little bit. Look at all these old like stone pillar like houses and things like that. It's pretty fascinating. It's very cool. And then on the way back, they take you nearby like an island, and they like throw the anchor down and let you jump in the water, which is a lot of fun. It's the Aegean Sea. Very cold, very salty. I wasn't intentionally trying to drink or taste the water, but it was very salty. But a ton of fun. My wife loves the water, loves being in the ocean, so whenever I can, I try to make sure we can get into the ocean, do a boat tour, trip, whatever. So that was fun. And then another one of the days, we I forget where I think it was on the lunch. There was a lunch spot that we went to that we made a reservation for that was right on the water. But I made it a point to make sure every night I made reservations for us to like be at a place where we could see the sunset. So we did an Negrita bar that one night. There's another bar that's like really high up on the hill. It's like the highest point in Mykonos. It's called 180 Bar. The views are incredible. So like the first night it was cool because we were like level with the horizon for the sunset. And the next night, maybe it wasn't the next night, it was a couple nights later, we're up at the very top, so you're kind of looking down on the sunset. Another night, we just went to like a local rooftop bar, a little club bar where we saw the sunset. We did dinner. There was one really nice dinner we did. Tasting menu. It wasn't Michelin starred, but the chef had like trained at a Michelin star restaurant. It was very well acclaimed. It's called Yevo by Bill and Koo. It's on the Michelin website. It's not like a star. It's like their, if you guys are familiar, it's like one of the other classifications called Bib Gourmand, where it's like it's a good spot, but just not quite Michelin level. The food was great. Drinks were great. We did I'm getting the days mixed up. I'm kind of just like telling you everything we did. It might actually been the second day. We rented a couple chairs at a pool club, which was really fun. We were there all day, but I got really burned on day one. I was putting on some, like the problem was like you're out on these sunbeds for like the entire day. I think we got there at 11 and stayed till like 5 o'clock. I was putting sunscreen on. I'm already, you can tell, you guys are seeing me for the first time. I'm not necessarily very dark. I'm pretty fair skinned. I'm pretty pale. So I burn pretty easily, but I was putting sunscreen on like every hour, just reapplying. Didn't matter. My right leg got really bad. Like the next couple of days, if you guys have had that where it's bad, where you get like little blisters, it was not great. I don't like doing that. It's like not safe, but did a beach club. Sorry, pool club. Yeah, it was super fun. Stayed there all day, and then yeah, one of the other days we did actually do a beach club, so that one was cool. We actually rented a cabana, so we had shade. It was right on the water. Pretty busy. There's a lot of, I mean, even the pool club, a lot of people, a lot of beds, day beds, cabanas. But that was way more relaxing, where we had like, you could just lay out, not worry about the sun. It was unfortunately pretty windy, so if you guys don't know, we didn't really know, like we had heard, but Mykonos is very windy. Like, it's called the Windy Island, and that beach day was pretty bad. So much so that like drinks that we had like on our like little table inside our cabana would blow over. Hats are flying around. Like, it was just a little hectic that day, but it's okay. It was still fun and relaxing. But yeah, that was the Mykonos portion of the trip. One day we did actually just stay at our pool at our hotel. So, you know, it's a honeymoon. We spent a decent amount. We wanted to stay at a nice hotel. Like, you know, we don't normally do that. We try to be frugal with our money, and but you know, it's our honeymoon. We wanted to treat ourselves, so we stayed at a pretty nice hotel. It had a it wasn't a hot tub, but they called it like a heated pool, like in our room, like in our patio. But the pool was like that cool white. If you guys know Mykonos, it's the I don't know what it's called, but like all those buildings are like white, like it's not plaster, like whitewashed stone. I don't know what it is, but like our pool was all done with that. There were these cool beds that were like under like little grotto kind of vibes, like little caves. So one day, I think it was towards the end of our stay in Mykonos, like day like 5 or 6, where we were like, let's just do a chill day. We planned it, just do a chill like recover day, because we were drinking, you know, a good amount. We don't drink a lot, but like we're having drinks at every meal. So we wanted one day to just kind of relax, recover. And then Sorrento. So we went to Sorrento. So one of my good friends that one of my good friends now that I went to college with, this is his best friend that I met through them at college. So I met this guy through my friend at college, but he used to come around all the time. So he became my friend as well. Like, we chat, so it's like kind of like our friend group, one of our little friend groups. But it was his wedding. I've been to Italy before. My wife and I, we actually got engaged in Lake Como in Italy. We hadn't been to Sorrento. Sorrento is really fun. So it's definitely like so Mykonos is it's very touristy, right? It's built for like tourists, and like it's a seasonal island. So like that place is not, there are not many locals. That place does not like operate year round. Actually, like employees at all the stores, like they've got all the high-end designers and like random, like, you know, sunglasses shops and clothing, whatever. They all fly in from like other cities in Greece. But Sorrento is very much like a town where people live. It's a cute little city. I loved it because I didn't know this going into it, but when we went to Italy last year in Como, when we got engaged, my drink of choice was a limoncello spritz. So Aperol spritz is very popular. I like sweet. I like lemons. I don't like eat lemons or whatever, but I just like lemon. Like, if you squeeze lemon on salmon, or I don't know. But I was drinking limoncello spritz, so I found out that Sorrento is like the city of lemons. Like, when you walk around, everything is lemon. When you go into little like shops for like little souvenirs and knickknacks, there's like lemon mirrors, lemon salt shakers, lemon serving plates, lemon forks, like you name it. So it was kind of fun. Of course, like when you're in Italy, you're gonna do a lot of like eating pasta, pizza, like flatbreads. Funny enough, we don't drink a ton of wine. And I remember one night calling out, I think towards the end of our trip, I was like, we've been in Italy and we haven't had like any of the wine here. Like, what are we doing? Like, why are we just drinking limoncello spritz? And my wife was feeling mojitos, not like super Italian, but just a refreshing, like, you know, tropical drink. But yeah, so you know, that part was fun. The first night we got in kind of late, so we just relaxed. One thing I want to say, the place we stayed was like a little bed and breakfast. We spent a lot of money on that Mykonos hotel, so we wanted to go a little bit more affordable in Sorrento. So it was like a cute little bed and breakfast, nothing fancy. It's actually not even a bed and breakfast, it's just a bed. Think bed and breakfast without breakfast. But the owner, super friendly, very helpful, like willing to give you recommendations, like just going above and beyond to make sure our stay was great. If you guys ever want to go to Sorrento and want a recommendation for a cute little place to stay, just let me know. Send me a message or something and we can chat. Yeah, the second day we were in Sorrento, we booked a boat trip to Capri, which was so amazing. So that was more of an actual tour. It was a trip but also a tour. So like, it takes you around. It showed, like, they stop off, they point out like the lighthouse. There's different caves. If you guys are familiar with the Blue Grotto, it's a pretty famous grotto in Italy. It's a hard no for me. So inside this grotto, there's no light, but it's like this beautiful blue like shimmer that like comes from the water up into the roof. The problem is, to get into this grotto, the hole is like, it's got to be maybe like 2 feet high and like 4 feet wide, and you have to like, you can't go, like, you have to get into a like small rowboat type thing. Like, they have these guides like that are in rowboats, and there's a rope that goes from inside and like goes all the way out of this grotto, and they have to like pull you in. But like the water, like this gap to get in this grotto is so small. I'd be terrified that like the water would close or something, like the waves would get too high or high tide and you can't get out, something crazy. Like, I'm just a hard no for me. It's also like a 2-hour wait to get in, so that's like another. I was like, okay, we don't need to do this, because they asked, like, they drove us by and they said, if anyone wants to go, we can drop you off and come back later. But everyone was like, yeah, no. But they did let us anchor and jump into the water out there as well. A little warmer, so it was actually really cool. So warmer than Mykonos, and more clear. So it's cool because you can literally see, like, and we were in deep water, maybe 15, 20 feet, but you can see all these little fish like underneath you while you're swimming. Like, not super clear, but you can see them. And it was just really fun. I know my wife like loved it. I mean, I loved it too, but again, she loves water and oceans and swimming, whatever. So that was really cool. And then we stopped at Capri. We had about like 3 or 4 hours on Capri. So we, first thing we did was eat. We were really hungry, so we stopped and had like a nice little lunch. And we walked around. There was like a downtown part of Capri, so we were kind of on the edge, like on the coast, but there's like an inner part. It's not a huge island, but like when you go to the middle of the island, there's like a downtown shopping area, but we didn't really want to, like, we weren't super concerned with that. We went to the top. I think it's called Augustus's Garden. Yeah, the Garden of Augustus or something. But we went up there. It's a beautiful, it's like, I think it's the highest point that you can get up to on Capri. Took a bunch of pictures. It's a beautiful area. The garden itself is like, it's cute, but it's not like, it's nothing like to write home about. It's the actual view and being on top and like seeing Capri and everything, which was incredible. And I'm thinking maybe I'll put up a post. Maybe I'll share some photos with you guys if you guys want to see some of the photos of the trip, just to some of the stuff that we did. But yeah, so we did that on the second day. The rest of the trip, was kind of like, it was still our honeymoon, yes, but it was kind of dedicated to their wedding. So the one night there was a little, it wasn't official, but they were like, they said if anyone is in town and wants to come meet up for dinner and drinks, we're going to be meeting at a place. So everyone wasn't in town yet. We had happened to go a little early because we'd already been out there in Mykonos. So I think there was like maybe 15 people, 20 people, close family, like the parents. Some of our close friends had gotten there, so we just had dinner and drinks, the informal, like not part of the wedding. The next night was the actual like welcome dinner. Beautiful. So not the super high point, but like pretty high up on the hillside in Sorrento. I wish I remember the name, but it's like this really nice, like family-owned Italian restaurant. It almost looked like a banquet hall, but they had like all these wood-fire ovens. I guess they do like teaching, they do classes there for like food, like, you know, pizza making, pasta making. But it was really nice. It was kind of like, you know, it was a rehearsal dinner. And they had the staff there, but like, you know, tossing the pizza, like rolling pasta. So it was like incredibly fresh. The views were beautiful. It was absolutely incredible. And then the wedding was quite literally like the most stunning venue. Again, I think the highest point you can get to on Sorrento. And actually, when I told our Airbnb host and some other people, like, we were in for a wedding, and I didn't remember the name of the place, and I said, oh, it's like the highest point, like where you can go and it overlooks everything. They all knew the name. They were like, oh, Rely Blue, which is the name of this place. And I was like, yeah, that's it. So that's how you know it's a very well-known and like great venue. But yeah, absolutely incredible. The wedding was stunning. The bridegroom, like, everyone's just such a great time. It's a lot of close friends too, so that was really cool. I think, you know, my wife and I at that point, like, we'd already been gone for like 2 weeks. Not 2 weeks, but like a week and like, you know, 4 or 5 days. We were kind of slowing down. Like, we drank a little, but not a lot, just a couple drinks, because I think we were both like just ready to relax and come home. And but yeah, mostly what we did in Sorrento, we didn't go to Pompeii. There's not like a ton to sightsee. We walked down one day to the marina. Most of it was just exploring the city. So one day we walked down to this cool marina. Obviously, we did the Capri day. We did another day where we went to just the town, the marina, Capri. Excuse me. The rest of the days were kind of for the wedding. So yeah, and then that was the trip. But it was a very nice break. I think 2 weeks is probably the limit to like how long I feel comfortable being away from home. I'm gonna get another candy going while we're talking here. Too loud. This one was easy to come out. I think like for us, we have the pets. And you know, we paid a pet sitter for to keep Penny with her. She lives in the building, which is great. I felt a little bad for Honeycat though. I think next time, so we had plenty of people come in and check. So the pet sitter would come in and check on Honeycat. One of my wife's cousins would come over. So we had friends coming by to stay with Honeycat. But I think, you know, I think she does like the company, and like, I think I would like to have somebody maybe just come here and like stay at our place if we were to do a long trip like that again. Just because it's, you know, it's a little lonely. I felt kind of bad. So, but it's okay. She was fine when we got back. She's very loving still. She doesn't hate us. Penny was excited. But yeah, so trip was great. Yeah, I think so. Like, switching gears. I really want to keep, like, you know, putting together some fresh content for this channel. I'm gonna definitely continue doing all the stuff I was doing before: playthroughs, board games, and card games, and all that fun stuff. Whispers, the puzzle books, more collection videos. The one thing I want to do though is I've been doing Pokemon cards. I grew up playing Pokemon. I was around when the first Pokemon came out, all the original Pokemon cards. As I've gotten older, I think like after college, I started to kind of get back into the games. Well, I think it was kind of Pokemon Go. When Pokemon Go came out, it was a huge craze. Everybody was doing it. Kind of got me back into Pokemon. You start getting established in your career, you can like afford more things. So I started doing the Pokemon cards for fun. So I collect Pokemon cards. I've also been recently getting back into baseball cards. So I might do some like, I did a Pokemon video, like just sorting through my collection a while ago, but I might do some opening, like some ASMR opening packs of sports cards, Pokemon cards. I think I'll do whispered, I'll do soft spoken, but I think even the sound of the plastic and the cards can be very soothing. So I'll do some of those. But I appreciate the comments when you guys are, you know, saying, hey, like, I love this. Would you consider doing this kind of video or that kind of video? I've got a lot of great recommendations that I'm gonna do. Some no talking videos, even where I'm just like got the pencil on paper doing the Myrtle or Wordle or whatever, or Cluedle, I should say. So yeah, I'm just excited to keep giving you guys some fresh content. I'll do some other videos when there's rambles like this, where I'll keep doing my face on camera. Sorry if I keep looking like I'm trying to look straight at the camera, but this is my first time doing this, so I keep wanting to look at myself versus the camera. But anyway, that's gonna be it for today's video. As always, I hope this video gave you guys a lot of tingles, and we'll see you on the next one.